Our time in Istanbul had lasted 2 years. They were good years, but at the same time, we knew the good days were drawing to a close, since we were faced with quite few dangers. Therefore, we decided to leave Istanbul, and the first place we went to was the country of Bosnia. From there, we decided to go to Austria with the help of the smugglers. Our hope was that the Austrian government would give us asylum. We traveled at night and rested during the day, sometimes walking on foot and other times traveling by car. The closer we got to the Austrian border, the greater was the danger of being arrested.
We have to cross one by one. It won't hold us all at once.
Okay. We cross one by one person at a time. One by one.
The smuggler was first to cross, then my daughter Esther, followed by Murdoch. They crossed to the other side easily. But I wasn't sure if Joseph would be able to make it on his own. I was worried about him.
Be careful, my son. Look, he's just a kid. Let me go with him.
Go.
Go, my son.
Death came to me and said, "I've come to take you with me. Where is this God you always talk about?" I turned toward my God and I said, "Lord, tell me, did you bring us to this forsaken place just so we would die? Where did I make a mistake? Where did I go wrong?"
I saw him the other day. He was doing good. Oh, Mom, thank you. This is delicious.
Some of that stew.
You know what? I'm going to go for the second plate. Hey, Khosrow, pass the bread?
Hey guys, don't you think Khosrow resembles the zombies shown in the American movies?
No. Dear Khosrow only needs to eat more food. I've told your mother to serve him the kind of food I used to feed your father. See how healthy and plump he is? Khosrow can be like him too.
Hey. Khosrow, are you there?
I have to go to work.
Did you say work? You should be in the university now.
I make more money than all of you.
The reason I don't make money is because I'm a full-time student. Unlike some people who quit their studies for a job, and with a phone company at that.
Enough, kids. Now that's enough. Be quiet.
When your grandfather died, God bless his soul, everyone cried at his funeral. Everyone except Khosrow.
My son was very sad at that time.
How do you know that?
He told me so himself.
He never said anything to me.
I had a friend at work who had depression.
What happened?
Well, it's obvious.
What's obvious?
Khosrow has depression.
What we need to do is look for a nice girl for our son. Maybe one of his cousins, why not? That's what Khosrow really needs.
Farzan, you didn't finish the story. Tell me, what happened to your friend?
Well, he committed suicide.
We are a large family, and usually in large families in Iran, a lot of things happen. Up until that time, no one in the family had ever seen my tears. They were of the opinion that I had no feelings or emotions, but my situation was getting worse day by day. I tried to get close to God through His laws and commandments, by reading many different books and participating in different religious gatherings and activities. I was searching for God, but I couldn't find Him. I had a strange feeling, a feeling that there was an emptiness in my soul, an emptiness that couldn't be filled. Then one day, as I was walking to work, I passed this church, which I had passed many times before. This time, however, something was different. It seemed as though a voice from within the church called me.
Would you like to take a look? Come and touch.
Every day, I used to take a different route when returning home from work. But it seemed as if the voice which had called to me in the morning told me to return home by the same way I had taken in the morning.
Excuse me, ma'am. Is anyone here?
Who are you?
Khosrow Khodadadi.
What do you want here?
I wanted to know what goes on here. Do you attend this church?
Do I look like a Christian to you?
No, forgive me. Well, when do people gather here?
Every Sunday.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I'll come back.
Don't expect to find anyone here on Sunday.
Until then, I couldn't remember ever having looked forward to something as much as I looked forward to that day. Whether it was my birthday, my school graduation, or some other special day, none of it had mattered before. Now, for the first time in my life, I was anxious for the arrival of that day. When I entered the church, I saw a few older men and older ladies, and a man who was speaking. I didn't understand any of what was being said. I didn't know what language he was speaking. Later on, I found out this man was speaking Assyrian, which is the language spoken by one of the Christian minorities in Iran.
Hello, my son. Welcome.
Thank you.
Sit down, sit down.
Thank you.
How can I help you, my son?
Where do I begin? I passed by here before, but I never came inside.
Stand up. Stand up. I have something to show you.
The New Testament? What's it about?
This is the most important book I'm going to give you. It's the story of Jesus Christ in your language. When you have read these books, come back here and see me again. And it won't hurt for you to smile from time to time either. Now let's go.
Jesus called a small child over to him and put the child among them. Then he said, I assure you, unless you turn from your sins and become as little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven.
I read the entire New Testament, but I was still the same person. Nothing had changed in me. So I started from the beginning again. I repeated this many times. Even though I was feeling no change taking place in me, still, it was like someone or something kept telling me, read on and don't stop. So I repeated this many times. One day when I came back from work, anger, hopelessness, and apathy had filled my being. I felt as if nothing and no one could help me. I felt completely alone and isolated.
If you're for real, come and speak to me. And if not, then get out. Get out and let Khosrow be Khosrow.
Give me your hand, and your life will change.
I didn't know who he was. I just knew that it was a vision. I was not asleep, since I had just thrown the book to the corner of the room. It was interesting that I could hear his voice in the room. There were other noises too, like the boiling sound of my mother's samovar. I felt as if this person was not a stranger at all. As if he had been with me since childhood. As if he had been with me during the painful years. His voice was a very familiar voice. That's why I didn't feel as if he were a stranger. And he said, "Give me your hand." I gave him my hand without any fear or any hesitation, and he took my hand. And he put his hand in mine. I had a strange sensation, as if a jolt of electricity entered through my fingertips and engulfed my entire body. My entire body became wet with perspiration, and I had a feeling of peace. My old shell had been broken, and my old self knocked down. I was a new human being.
Khosrow, what's wrong? Why are you crying?
I believe the moment I saw him, all of my pain and my sadness and hopelessness left me. An everlasting joy entered my heart, a joy I had longed for. The pressures and pain left me. All the wounds and scabs which had caused me to be seen an angry and tough person dissolved from me. In their place came the joy of the Lord.